gal.
Rely on the experienced professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air.
Whether it's the blazing heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter, let the Rheem Pro professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Conditioning on West College Street keep your home or business comfortable year-round. We service all major brands and in most cases offer same-day service. Call us today at 615-890-1311. Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, your Rheem Pro partner heating and cooling contractor on West College Street, just under the Thompson Lane overpass.
It's the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coach's Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 1019, 100.5, 1450, WGNSSports.com and Big G TV.
And this portion of the show brought to you by JHA Company, Josh Houston and Associates. They deal with jewelry, letter jackets, yearbooks, graduation products, and more. Online at jhacompany.com. John Ding is back with you here for the second installment with the Smyrna Bulldogs head coach Omar Smith. And Omar, you've gotten off to a pretty good start. I know the record probably not what you want, but 5-4 at this point. But you've had some really good games, and I guess y'all are improving as we go and see what the year's going to be. But I know you've. I know you've had a game, and I'm going to talk about this game because it just blows me away. 95-88, is that right, against Rockvale?
89, yep.
I would have loved to have been there for that game. That must have been an exciting game, really.
It was. I think I told the guys that that's probably the first game I've coached at this level where we lost, and I got pats on the back after the game.
Yeah.
I think everybody really enjoyed the game. I happened to run into Mr. Luker, Rockvale's principal, after the game, and he commended us on how well we played and talked about the game. And I was like, well, I'm sure everybody in the stands enjoyed it more than I did. But part of it, you do want to give people a show and have people give them something they're excited about. So I think that looking at it in those aspects, people kind of took notice of what we did, and I think people kind of started to pay attention to us a little more.
Well, you have gotten to a pretty good start. I think 5-4, something like that, and I know you probably feel pretty good, really, where you are right at this point, and you're scoring some points.
Yeah, I do. When I made the schedule, one of the things I told one of my assistants, I said, if you look at our first 10 games, there's a possibility that we could have a really bad record.
Right.
Because, we started the season with Centennial. Of course, when we scheduled that game, they look like a totally different team than what they are. Brentwood, of course, everybody knows how good they are.
Yeah.
Collinsville and Ravenwood. So we knew, and you think about the Lead Academy, who was a sub-state team last year, Hume Fogg, who was a state tournament team. So we made the schedule knowing it would be tough. And so, honestly, considering those teams, I'm pleased with where we are. I think we let two of those get away that we probably should have won. But, at this point in the season, it's about growing and learning. So we've learned a lot from those losses. So I think it's been a good thing.
You guys have always been athletic. I mean, just really athletic. But consistency's kind of been a little bit of an issue in a few of those years. But I know you're probably looking forward. You've got some guys coming back. Tell us a little bit about some of the guys you got.
Well, we brought back Jan Kinzer, who was an all-district, all-area player, senior, 3-year starter. He's averaging 26 a game right now. We bring back Caden Matthews, a 6'6", 6'7", perimeter player. He's averaging 20 a game right now. And then we bring back a few more seniors, Brody Webb, Javion Buchanan, Corey Daniel, who've all played. And then, of course, we got AJ Wright, who transferred in from Laverne, another big 6'7" kid who stepped right in and helped us out. Of course, he's got a lot of experience, playing in the state tournament, playing in the sub-state. So, that senior class brings back a lot of experience, and we're excited about what they're going to do this year.
I think that's a big key, isn't it? I mean, when you talk about being consistent and having that senior leadership, and that hasn't always been the case at Smyrna, where you've had enough seniors that coming out at the same time, playing together for that long. That's kind of a good problem, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you think about last year, we graduated 6 seniors, and out of that senior class, only 2 of them had any experience coming into their senior year. So, even though we on paper looked really old last year, we were very young and inexperienced. So
Right.
it makes a difference with these guys who've all been playing. So that's a huge difference.
The Lead Academy, you had a win with them, and 71-53. If you guys score, you guys are going to do pretty well, don't you? I mean, it's a lot of that, but the defense is really important too.
Absolutely. We've taught our guys that the scoring has not been a problem since I've been at Smyrna. I think we've been top 2 or 3 in the region every year in scoring. So we've taught them we've got to get better defensively, and that's been our focus. I would say over the last week or so, we hadn't even worked on offense. We just worked on defensive principles, rules, things of that nature, being able to adjust and not giving up straight line drives to the basket, rebounding the ball better. That's been our focus over the last week and a half. So, defense is really big, and it's very important.
Had a big game against Hume Fogg. That was a close one, 59-57. But when you're talking about preseason, Omar, that's big to pull off a close game like that. That is part of that, down the trenches, down the stretch. How a lot of teams have trouble closing games, and that's good to win a close one in what I call kind of the preseason, that little area before Christmas.
Absolutely. That was one of those games where we actually went into the fourth quarter of that game where we were up 13 points. And so I told them, after the game, I was not happy the way we finished the game. And my wife had to talk me off the ledge. She said, "Didn't you tell me they were a state tournament team last year?" And I was like, "Yeah, they were." But just, kind of getting to that point where we understand, yes, we're learning how to bury teams when we have that opportunity. And, yes, they are a good team. And I think their record doesn't show it right now, but I think we're going to look up and Hume Fogg will be in the mix again in that class. So it really turns out when you think about it, it was a good win and a good way to finish. It's just not quite how I wanted to, but we'll take that W every day.
I know the district is a little different this year, and Blackman comes in there, and you've got Laverne, of course, and but the preparation is not any different, though, is it? I mean, it really doesn't matter, does it?
Absolutely not. It's the same. We get film on everybody. We get their stats posted, and we get detailed scout reports every game, and so that's the thing that we're really harping on with the guys, being prepared, because every night we know these same teams are going to prepare for us. They're going to know everything that we do, understanding tendencies, and so even with the new district outside of Blackman, we're familiar with Stewart's Creek. We're familiar with Laverne, even though they have a new coach. We hadn't played Blackman since my first year at Smyrna, so it's a little bit of adjustment, kind of getting back to playing them and understanding what they're going to do. But, anybody that's in this area, what Blackman does and how they operate. So it won't be a huge adjustment.
I know she said you know how they operate because you've known Coach Wertman for a long time. You may not have played him, but I know you've seen him a few times. Yeah. There's a lot of excitement at Smyrna. Lonnie's got the girls playing well. It's really great to see, and all the improvements they've made in the gym, that kind of thing. It's a tough place to come and visit if you're going to go down and play Smyrna in those gymnasiums.
Oh, absolutely. And we've got, our student section starting to grow. And you look at our gym, our student section's right there in that corner. And so players are having to deal with them because they're loud.
They're right on top of you.
And they are. And so that's an adjustment for kids to have to deal with that. So I think that is a little bit of a home court advantage that we have that a lot of schools don't have.
We're talking to Omar Smith, head coach of the Smyrna Bulldogs, and off to a good start. Let's talk about the schedule you've got coming up around Christmas through the holidays, and then we get it gets for real with district play in January.
Oh, absolutely. So we're, right now we're up in Kentucky at Whitley County High School. We're about to play a team out of Nevada here in about 45 minutes. We got 2 Kentucky schools tomorrow and Monday. We come back after break. We got Wilson Central. Then we jump right into district play with Blackman. So it's here. It's time. So guys better buckle up and be ready to go.
Yeah. Anything you see that you think you need to improve on before I let you go here? Anything you see that you'd like to work on with the last few games you got before district?
I think the biggest thing, like you mentioned earlier, was the defense. I've told the guys, I said, we can score a lot of points. I want to see us at some point, play a game where we only score about 50 points and still get a win. And so that's kind of, obviously I still want to score 60, 70 points, but I want to be able to get in one of those games where we know the shots aren't falling and things like that, but we're going to sit down the guard and, having the guys understand if I'm not scoring, which is fine, but you're not going to score either, and just kind of beating people on that end of the floor.
Omar, it's always great talking to you. One final question. How's your lovely wife doing, and has she calmed down and ready for Christmas?
She's doing well. I think she has finally finished up all the Christmas shopping. I think the biggest thing now is getting her off the internet and planning cruises and all these trips that we go on all the time.
And you can't stop it because you're not there. You're not home enough, are you?
Right.
You tell her. Well, of course, she comes to all your games, doesn't she? I mean, she's a big supporter, so you don't have to worry about making her a widow during that time. So anyway, well, have a good Christmas, and we'll talk to you soon, and we'll talk to you after January. And good luck today.
You have a good Christmas, and thank you so much.
All right. That's Omar Smith, the head coach of the Smyrna Bulldogs. This portion of the Coach's Show brought to you by Rick Hall with Rayburn Insurance Agency in Smyrna. Give Rick a call for auto, home, business, and life insurance needs. Find out more online at rayburn.net. Coming up, Barry Wortman, Blackman Blaze.